So today, we are going to be playing The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante. You're going to have to let me know how annoying everything in the corner is. I mean, I can turn you guys off if you want. Wait, can I just lock? Please, thank you. I can... Chat. I can put you guys up here. I mean, you're not going to know until we're into the game anyway. I can put you anywhere you want. Look, you can be in the middle of the screen. You can be the whole stream. If you want to be. Fiction. I sent you some of his sheep. He's just got cute sheep. So yeah, let me know where you want things so that I can change it around. It is another I'm going to be speaking to you a lot game. Because I know you all love me speaking to you all the time. You are the stream, Sean. We have one mod celebrating because she's got a job. We've got one that's trying to keep positive. We've got one that's not paying any fucking attention, just repeating everything people are saying. Then we've got Brent, who's wonderful, and we love Brent. The rest of them have a mind of their own. No, we don't. Right. New game. What do you want to call ourselves? What do we want to be called? This is our first name. What do you want to be called? Brent is best boy. We want to be called Brent. Brent Brante. Fair. You're not going to change it. I am going to keep it open so that you know what the consequences are. Brent Brante. Sean, stop flirting with Brent. Behave yourself. Right, you all ready? I'm very quick with names. It was a pretty good name, I have to give you that. So it took me on my own about 3 hours to complete this. So, bearing in mind you're all crazy. Bearing in mind, I will just give up on you guys if you take too long to answer me. I'm hoping this is going to take about 3 hours, so it's only going to be a 3-hour stream. I am going to have to order food in a minute, because I haven't actually eaten yet. So we're going to have to order food in a bit. But we're going to start. You're ready for your adventure, your big adventure. You hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You will follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Brante will grow up to be. You will decide his personality, social status, and what mark will leave on history. With every step he takes at your behest, Sir Brante's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. Now, this actually does end up being like, if you do certain things, you can't do other things, and so on. The world is very different from ours, and you'll slowly learn about it. You start as a little kid, and you like... The 2 chapters in the demo is like his childhood and his adolescence, and it's like teenage years and stuff. I'm good at open door. So, you're gonna have to think what you want, basically. It's good. I liked it. But there are some big moments in the game that you will miss if you don't have the right stats, kind of. The kind of stats. Think what you want. You got this. You're already confused. How are you already confused? The game hasn't even begun yet. Punky is always confused. Punky, just listen. I'll read to you. The world of Sir Brante's birth is a ruthless realm where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Brante cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you chose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. So basically, you'll always get a couple... You always get a couple options, and always be good for some things. And if you run out of willpower, you're going to be fucked. You need to be careful with your willpower. But if you upset certain characters, obviously later on they're not going to be helpful to you. You're not going to have good options with them. So you've got to really think about where you want to go. Damn right I can. You're going to have the best adventure. Every victory will be a struggle, a path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of your Sir Brante, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you. Also, there are a couple mistakes in it. When I was reading it, I was like, I don't understand what's going on.
Remains written on these pages. My fate has always been my own. Every deed, every choice, and every person I met made me what I am. Could I have really taken a different path? Found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
You ready for me to read? Because there's going to be a lot of reading, guys. There's going to be a lot of reading. Your fingers are stained with ink. Your breath grows ragged. Your hands are shaking. Yet the words begin appearing on the page before you, one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you, and how did you reach this end? Cherry, thanks for the 6 months. Poggers. Poggers. You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arcanan Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human or Arcanan, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner, all bent to the divine will of the twin gods, and each life is naught. This is $20 US, with £2.50 tip to GoFundMe, putting it to 15. Right, yeah, I'll put that into her thingy in a bit. I promise I'll do it after the thingy. We reached level 5 10 minutes late. Oh, anyway. Whether human or Arcanan, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner, all bend to the divine will of the twin gods, and each life is naught but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life and a war drenched in blood, high ranks and noble deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city backstreets, fields of battle, and faces, so many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here to the end of your time, and every choice had a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in the memory, the pain and joy inextricably intermingled. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world? You had the power to alter the very course of history. Now, on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most crucial question of all. Your life of all the paths in life, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate, or was it your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's history? So there you go. You can answer. I promise I will continue to stream for your entertainment first. Very much so. So the man himself, your life has always been yours to live. You made your own destiny. The world around him, your path was charted for you by the people, the age, and the society in which you lived. A higher power. Your destiny was forged by a power greater than your own will. Or there is no destiny. Destiny does not exist. Human life is an exercise in chance. It is not governed by any laws. The world around him, the world around him. I think I went for the world around him, to be honest. Your final hours in the world are upon you. You close your eyes. In your mind's eye, you see them once more. The faces of your family, your friends, your foes, your underlings, your rulers. One after another, you recall the events that changed you forever. And in that moment, you know the truth. You are part of this world. You are its flesh and blood. Your family, your hometown, your empire. They all made you what you are. Your destiny was the sum total of your upbringing, your social status, other people's choices, and the age in which you lived. But are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you will have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a man named Brante will live once more. Brent! It's your story! It's Brent's story! A round world hymn. So your childhood. Chapter 1. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You are but a small child, learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? In chapters childhood, adolescence, and youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality by his qualities, and his relationships. By the end of the prologue, you will determine the estate and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him, and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Brante grow up to be? It's your call. Your call, guys! You're gonna make Brent's life better? Gonna make it worse? Gonna kill him? It's up to you. Right, so, some things that you need to know. Right? This isn't a world like our own. So there are going to be choices that get you killed. But if it's a choice you really want, go for it. Go for it. Oh yeah, kill me. You can't kill him. These are events that can happen. I'm not going to show you how they happen, because I don't want you looking at one and thinking, I want to do that. But you can only get these if you do certain things beforehand. Which, if I hovered over it, it would tell you what you need. But I'm not going to let you see that. You're not going to see it. You're going to have to just think about it. So, like, there's a fencing lesson you can have, and there's things like this. But I'm not going to tell you about them. Not going to tell them. In your childhood, what we're actually leveling up is your determination. Obviously, we start off at 0 with all of them. And your perception. So, your determination, your perseverance and strength of character, your ability to get your way, affects your frame of mind and the skills you have when you grow up. And your perception represents how attentive you are to other people and the world around you, your ability to comprehend and learn. You have 0 at the minute. 0. You're a baby! You're literally about to be born, Brent! You're not born with perception and determination! We got to get you there. So basically, to get things like this, you need to pick things like this. Hey, Tony. So, one of them might mean you have to be very determined, and one of them might mean you need to be perceptive. You know? You won't know until we get there. You've also got your willpower. So, like, your willpower is important, because there's certain things that you can and can't do depending on it. Certain actions will bring it down, certain ones will bring it up. But it's basically just, it's your inner strength. And then you've got your death. So you can die 4 times. Keep that in mind. You can die 4 times in this game. You're not dead yet, Brent. You haven't got a death yet. So we can see, like, different things. So we've got, this is us. This is our house. So our brother is the heir to the throne, to the household. Our reputation, we're tarnished. Our honour is tarnished. We're moderately wealthy. And we're at peace at the minute. And here's our family. Look at our family. No, the hype train ended at level 4. My brother's name isn't Stephen. Brent! Shh! Shh. You're dead? How are you dead? So, we got our grandfather, Gregor Brante. He's indifferent to us. -1. Right? The head of the Brante family and a nobleman of the mantle. A senior judge at the Anizotti prefecture. He was the first person in the family to get an education and achieve a noble title. His dream is to see his family ennobled by the sword. A cruel and fierce defender of the ancient order, he is constantly preoccupied with arranging the future of his family line. And his son is our dad, Robert Brante. Who likes us? He likes us. You know, he's our dad. He has to like us. A nobleman of the mantle and a judge at the Anizotta prefecture. Following in the footsteps of his father, Gregor, he earned a noble title and a position at the prefecture. He works tirelessly in judicial... Thank you for gifting us up to Tony, Solid. Thank you. He works tirelessly in his judicial services for the sake of his family. He took your low-born mother, Lydia, as his second wife, thereby jeopardizing the family's noble future. So, basically, he was originally married to this lady over here, but as you can see, she's had a true death, so she's dead. She gone. And then he married your mum, Lydia, who also had a kid before that, called Gloria. So, it's very class-based, as you can tell, but the classes are kind of weird. But you'll learn about it as the game goes on. It's not super important. All you need to remember is you're either going to be going for a noble path, you're going to be a commoner like your mum, or when you get to teenage years, you're going to be a crazy religious person. I'll leave that up to you, but you don't decide that as a kid, though, so it doesn't matter. So, your dad's dead wife was a noblewoman of the sword. So, a nobleman of the mantle means you're basically, you work into that title. So, it's not a given title. You're not like, your dad was a nobleman, so you're going to be a nobleman. You know, you will probably inherit that, but it's not like a given. Whereas when you're the noblewoman or the nobleman of the sword, it is a given, basically. Can't get the easy way. You definitely can't, because Brent is the son of a commoner as well, which is even worse. So anyway, Amelia Elborn is dead. Stephen's birth mother, she died while giving birth to him. She was a noblewoman of the sword and the sister of Augustine Elborn, a powerful family friend. The match between her and your father was your grandfather's doing. Amalia is said to have been a striking woman with a forceful personality who was proud of her noble origins. So she gave birth to your brother Stephen. Stephen is gonna inherit everything because he's the firstborn and he's a full noble because his mum was a noble, basically. Fuck you, Stephen. And I just want to point out one thing. Characters are gonna be assholes, but as you can see, their relations can get better. So don't just be an asshole all the time because someone's an asshole to you. Because there might be a good reason to be nice to them sometimes. I know what you lot are like. Robert Brante's son from his first marriage and a noble by birth. From a young age, he's been striving to be first in all things and demonstrate his superiority to the family. Then we've got Brent. You. There's nothing on you. They don't tell you anything about you. Then you've got your mum. He does have Brent's hair. Kill them all. So this is our mum. She was lowborn, a humble commoner from the outskirts of Anazotta. Neither her lowly origins, nor the fact that your grandfather directly forbade the marriage stopped your father from taking her into his home. She now manages the household and raises Robert's children. Your mother is devoted to her faith and insists that her children observe their lots. So the lots is basically like... It's basically who you are. So, like, if you're a noble, you get a noble's lot. So you get, you know, the nice things in life. If you're a commoner, you've got to just live to suffer, basically. But you'll learn a little bit more about that very soon. And then you've got your sister, Gloria, who's, like, both of your siblings aren't full siblings. She's not really actually related in at all, other than she's... Oh, no, she is. She's your mother's kid. What am I talking about? They call me Alfred Hitchcock. Do they? Do they? Pretty sure they call you Best Boy. And I did see you moaning that they were calling you cute yesterday. I was just at work and not meant to be on my phone. You'll know suffering soon indeed. The illegitimate daughter of your mother... Lydia, she has never met her real father. Her position in the family is precarious. Robert Brante has never acknowledged her as his own daughter. I'm not cute. Your sister is a dreamer. She often has her head in the clouds and can act recklessly at times. So yeah, that's your family. That's the people that you love, apparently. Except for your granddad. He is just a cunt. Where am I going? Oh, that's the button I wanted. I couldn't see it. Agree with Sean. What do you guys think I should eat for tea, by the way? That's the first thing you've got to figure out. What I'm having for my tea. At first, there was nothing. No time, no sensation. Nothing but darkness and void. But then a will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit was set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory. You are lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You are not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are part of them, and they are part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection. A strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hands towards you. There are two of them, the ones who made you made your form from their own selves and brought you into this world. They're united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel their differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and emphatic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. A soft open palm, a strong closed fist, a lingering distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. Wow. Too late for Subway? Maybe not. Maybe not. It's weird to hear you talk about having something for tea when you don't drink tea. I was at work till 7 o'clock and I didn't get home until 8, so it's gonna be late because I just haven't had time yet. My eyes. Poor Brent. He's being brought into this world. So who are you gonna reach out to? Reach out to the palm? That's your mum. You'll get 1 perception. Reach out to the fist, which is your dad. You'll get 1 determination. Or you'll smile at the shadow and get 10 willpower. What do you want? Just trying to understand language. We call dinner tea over here. I don't know really why. I have a plan. Fold and put away my laundry basket. Fold my daughter to do that. Nice. Daddy, basically mum, in shadow. Wow. We didn't even need Shazzy to make that a tie of any kind. You can't drink an energy drink. No. Don't drink energy drinks. I can't find... Oh, there's Uber Eats. They've given me one of every answer, basically. Everyone wants something different. And I thought it'd be you that'd be turned around and be like... tying up everything, Shazzy. You're usually the chaotic one. 10 for £10 at KFC. Guys, it might be KFC. There's a place called Stacks. Frankie and Benny's. Not that I can afford Frankie and Benny's, but I could go for a Frankie and Benny's. Am I going to be the final decision on this? Why did I go for it in my first playthrough? I think I went for determination. Frankie and Benny's is great, but... Dude, for a New York barbecue chicken dish, it's 11 quid. We could do with some... Is £111 and 11p. Well, Tony, if you want to gift me £111 and 11p, you'll feed me for today. I think we're going to go with the fist. The fist is stiff, coarse, and even unpleasant to the touch, but this firm hand belongs to your father. A tiny newborn, you are helpless before a full-grown man. Your little hand practically challenges him and his strength, and he accepts the challenge. Wait, Shadow won? Did it win? How did Shadow win? Who picked Shadow? I've got Daddy, Mum, and Shadow. Oh, there's a poll! I didn't see the fucking poll. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright. From now on, I can't see the poll. I've still got the community challenge at the top of my stream. I'll get rid of the community challenge and then I can see when there's polls. I literally didn't see a poll. I didn't think I should have guessed fictional was going to be super mod. But I didn't think about it. I didn't think you were going to poll it. But that's a good idea. You can poll it. Now that I know there's polls and I've got rid of the other thing, I can see it. I'm not sad, I'm mad. Wow. Your father's fist opens. His hand strokes your little hand gently, if somewhat awkwardly. Is a tender gesture, a glimpse into something he will seldom let show in the years to come. You know what, guys? I feel terrible. I just won't eat. I'm obviously way too caught up thinking about what I'm going to eat. So I just won't eat and we'll continue. Frankenchin, oh my god. As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize you eat food. I can't make up my mind what I want to eat. I'll be here for like 10 hours trying to figure that out. As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong, cold hands. He visits you rarely. Hello there, little Brante. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. Ma, you've grown so quickly, my child. There are 2 more children in the family named Stephen and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stephen likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you into the air. Oh, look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're going to play together, but I'll always be in charge because you were born a commoner. Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Brent. Let's go play in the yard. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another as they help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright it hurts to look at it. Why are you staring at that shining pillar? It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. He's just a little baby. How's he going to play? Then you hide him and I'll try to find both of you. You have no idea what they were talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stephen and Gloria glance at each other. Then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hands and walks you through the yard, not garden. Eat everything. Nice plan, I'll do that. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from the light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason, and then she's gone. You can no longer hear Stephen's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? So you can either cry loudly, and you get some willpower. You can find your own way home, and you get +1 determination. Or you can sit there and wait and get +1 perception. Go on, make a poll. I'll allow you to make a poll, and then I can look into there, figure out what I want to eat. You start crying, hoping to be found. You get up off the ground and start crawling through the bushes to find your way back home. You start playing with leaves and twigs and little bugs. Little bugs. Tiny little bugs. Frankie and Benny's might be too expensive. It's a place called Bird Box. German doner kebab. You want to find your way home to play video games. Nice. What the actual fuck is this? What does baby Brent do? Look at that. I don't even know if you can see that, but look at that. A German doner kebab. Your choice: doner meats, fresh lettuce, tomato, onion, red cabbage, and 3 signature sauces. In a toasted sesame bread. I voted cry. I hope you're all voting, now that I know we're voting. Video game. Cry, video game, video game. Gloria! Why have I got my notifications on? Or why have I got them so loud even? There's no option to kill people, Tony. Cry all away. Right. They tied. Brent wanted to find his own way home, which didn't win. I finally pay attention to a fucking poll and is tied. Cry when waiting. I am the tiebreaker. We're gonna cry. We're gonna get some willpower. You take a deep, deep breath and stop bawling. This is the loudest you have ever cried. It is a cry of sheer terror. The cry of a boy waiting to be found. A boy whose brother and sister hurt his feelings when they left him all alone. You hear brisk steps and the leaves and twigs rustling and parting. Mother leans over you. So that's where they took you. Your tears dry the moment you see her. You greet her with glee. There is no reason to be afraid anymore. Mother picks you up, puts you to her chest, and pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears, just like you. Stephen keeps staring at his feet. You hug Mother tightly. She is here now. We got some willpower. He did. He hammy-hand until his mummy come. Because we're such big babies that we had to cry. We were cry for our mummy because we got lost. I'm going to have McDonald's, I think. Fuck life, I'm going to have McDonald's. Another memory, you're still a little child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Father is busy around the house giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stephen is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today is the great descent. We honour the day when the twin gods descended to us. We must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys there, no chairs, even the carpet has been taken away. There's nothing there but a bare wooden floor. Today we're not allowed to go to any other rooms, and we'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the great descent, everyone must be where they belong. It is quiet, unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused, with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice, a lonely sound in an empty room. It's a little song that Mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins come down to earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them, 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule and bravely fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand, guide us to the twins' commands. Common people work and toil, always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born, to the day when you pass on. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You are transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze, and a smile creeps across her face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Brent? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar anytime from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar, and if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are a lowborn. Mum is a commoner too, so the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard, understand? The priests and the nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and rule over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and then teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? And she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerge 2 figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder, the other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. Know your lot and know the prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. But what will these words be? You can either finish the song properly and get +1 perception, or sing it wrong and get +1 determination. You join your sister and finish the song the same way you heard it. You shout words of your own instead of the last line of the song. I know what most of you want. Someone make a poll when I make my order. When I get my food, I'll get my food. Where's just a Big Mac? There. Big Mac. Wait. No, McDonald's is off. No, it's back. What are you doing to me? Large. With fries. And a milkshake. Banana milkshake. Tony, I only got home at 8 o'clock. I'm picking the brat. I know you're gonna pick the bratty options. Though I'm actually with you on this one, to be honest. Like, I don't see why everyone wants to live their lot. Why do you think that you should be a commoner just because you were born a commoner? We're going to be playing this together tomorrow because it comes out, the full game comes out tomorrow, Tony. That's what we're planning on doing. Oh, they just changed Uber Eats, that's why. I can't believe the whole lot of you are going to just roll over and die. You're gonna roll over and be like, yep, this is my lot in life. As soon as the podcast is coming back in the next couple of weeks. I just need to figure out a date with Akbar. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You sing the last line together with Gloria. Your sister looks up at you in surprise and gives you a nod. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. When a moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Gloria turns her head to look at where you were staring. Did you see something, Brent? You shake your head. Not anymore. You guys towing the line. You're all going to just make us commoners, aren't you? Okay, right. Tell me why 9 chicken McNuggets is $4.29. 20 McNuggets is $4.99. Who would go for 9 when for like not that much more you can get 20? Like, why? You are starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service, but your mother is a low-born woman and a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner, but father says you may yet come into nobility. You learn to read at an early age. Together with mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again, you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and even jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high, but even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Your older brother Stephen now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says, so Gloria calls him names and Stephen pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stephen gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you will be an older brother too, and it doesn't really matter who the youngest will be, a boy or a girl, you will love them the most. When Father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find his stories of wars, generals, and rebellions quite enchanting, and Father approves of your fascination. Study hard and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword, but first you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. Isn't that the truth? You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You are both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stephen is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. You see Mother's shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You would rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stephen, Brent? You stammer out an explanation. He hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm going to hit you with a real sword. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can still feel her concern for you. Even if Stephen hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer, but your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he'll rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot, and the sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. Now Stephen looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what you want to do, or what to do now. You can either accept your punishment. Your mum will be grateful and Stephen will like you, but you'll lose 5 willpower. You can deny that you're guilty and get 1 determination, or you can demand an explanation and get 1 perception. What are you talking about? The Pringles Xbox giveaway? What are you on about, Tony? Two, three, 4. Maltesers, McFlurry. Demand. People want to demand. What have I got? What have I got? My Big Mac. I wanted the mozzarella dippers as well, with no dip. That's what I wanted. Yes, I would like a straw. Standard. Someone is trying to ruin us by making us weak-willed toadies. I'm kind of surprised by some of the stuff people like. I personally would have gone for accepting your punishment, Because you get a better relationship with your brother. Your mum's going to be grateful. And like, you've literally just turned around and been like, we're gonna, you know... We're gonna accept our lot in life. And now you're gonna demand that your mum explains that your lot in life is to be well behaved. It's not even that I've played it before. It's just weird. Demand explanation. Wait, was that perception? Or was that determination? I can't remember. Hey, Akbar. You start asking questions. Why were you born a commoner if your father is a noble? If you have your father's name, why can't you have his lot? And why can't you choose a lot for yourself if you don't like the one you have? Mother is stunned by all the questions you are peppering her with. Don't you dare ask me about that, Brent. Yeah, Brent! Brent! I'll violate my lot if I start explaining it all to you. I'm a commoner, not a priest. You are flogged in front of your entire family. The pain burns on your skin again and again. Tears keep rolling down your cheeks. It feels like punishment will never end. It hurts to walk when you're finally let go. You slowly climb the stairs and walk to your room. You see a book in your bed. The Teaching of Aestus, Volume 2. You all got Brent punished probably harder than he should have been. I hope you're happy. This is Brent's blood. It's on your hands. Your tears have dried now. You begin to read slowly, making your way through the difficult words. Every death of the body bringeth the soul ever closer to the twins' judgment. And when the body dieth a true death, the soul soareth to the shining pillar. The twin gods do judge every soul, and their judgment is stern and unforgiving. He who followeth his lot in life from birth shall melt in bliss atop the peak of the shining pillar. The words confuse and elude you, instilling fear and awe. You will read this mysterious book again and again as you grow up. Oh, it's perception. That's the problem though, fictional. In his society, he had to. Because he's a commoner and he hurt a noble. You vote for punishment from the start. Nice. Nice, Tony. Can you leave this insane asylum? You can build a better life for yourself. I'm actually on the path to being a noble in my other game. If it lets me have 2 saves. My other save, I'm basically a noble at this point. I think you guys are going down either to be a priest or being a commoner, though. I have a feeling. Just a small inkling. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day, she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day, she takes your hand and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You'll have a brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. You're assuming the insane asylum you're referring to is the Ramble Squad. Excuse me. I think our group is amazing. Hey Brent, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mummy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stephen? Our judge is my second father. In the past I had another. Mother says the twins are great. Says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it is mine. I can read rhymes, but today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that live there, but then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves the chambers when she hears a commotion. Finally you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mum. No, you cannot. It's already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny, and I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You're a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble, but that is not our fate, and you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You're a bystander to the scene, unsure of how to act. So, for a start, you can't do that one because you're not determined enough. So you couldn't do that one even if you wanted to. So your options are to offer to write rhymes with her. So when nobody can hear you, you offer to write poems with Gloria. You'll get more perception. You can comfort your sister. Your sister will be grateful and like you a bit more. And you'll lose some willpower. Or you can just leave the room and get more willpower. Anyone. Where's the new mother option? I mean, your mother doesn't get much better. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You know, Sean, you could make the polls as well if you wanted to. You don't need to leave all the work to fictional. My order's on the move. A dude called George is bringing it. How nice. I like Gloria. I like Gloria too. There's a bit in the story. I don't know if you'll get this bit in the story or not. Because already you're going down a different path than me, obviously. But there's a part that really, really upset me. And I sat there for like 20 minutes trying to figure out what decision I was going to make. It really upset me. I didn't know what to do. Tell George hello from us. Never. Poet Brent. That's actually the one I went to for. I did that. It was really sweet. It was a really sweet story. You basically hide in the library. Because you're not, that's not going to win anyway now. But you basically hide in the library with her and write poems with her. Pet Brant. Brent. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You walk up to your crying sister and take her by the hand. None of this is her fault, you say. What Mother did is wrong and far too harsh. Gloria sniffles before speaking. But I did leave you all alone. You're not mad at me, really? You nod in reassurance. Gloria embraces you. Brent, you're the best little brother in the world. He is! He's amazing! He'd be an amazing little brother. The two of you make a deal. She promises to tell you when she wants to be alone, and you promise to protect her and her secrets always. So you got grateful. She'll remember this. She'll remember it, guys. She'll remember it. I think I have my best relationship with Gloria, to be honest. Or maybe my dad in my other playthrough. So basically now, your relationship with people, your willpower, your perception, and your determination, you're gonna start not being able to choose some of the options, basically. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge after all. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stephen and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stephen, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria's the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older. How is that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stephen and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You are told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins, first to the elder on the right, and then to the younger on the left. Stephen, you're a nobleman to be, so walk along the side paved with marble where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stephen, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stephen is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. Hey, stylish stand. What would be... I have no idea what the price is going to be. They don't even have it for pre-order at the minute. I'm hoping it's going to be a good price, though. But I've already played the demo once, and it's really fun. It's going to be a really good story, so I don't mind. But if it's like up to like 20 quid or something. But I don't know. You return? Welcome back, G-Man. You've missed so much so far. You've missed us getting Brante punished. Your siblings, Stephen and Gloria, took their first sacrament at the temple. You eye the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stephen and Gloria are also here, all excited. I have a feeling that might be my food. Give me a second, guys. Oh, that's sad, stylish. That's sad. This is the one with my drink in it. I need to get my drink out. And my McFlurry. That better not be a raspberry McFlurry. No, it is a Malteser one. I was gonna say, I didn't order a raspberry one. I get why they put the seals on, so you know no one's like done anything to your drink, but I hate them. Hey, Auntie Dot, how's it going? I hate these straws so much. The milkshake's too thick. It's too thick, guys. And my camera's gone now. Stupid camera. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him. Oh no, the two of you will play together and tease Stephen together and help Mother together and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents name your little brother Nathan, and Mother spends day and night by his side, and Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She is so worn out she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance. She forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to your mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting, but instead of gratitude, you get an ice cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Brent, you're bothering me. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute's respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. His cries get even louder. She looks so tired from his never-ending screams. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You're scared of your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. So here you go. You either call Father for help and get some more perception. You redirect her anger to you and get some determination. Or you snatch Nathan from her, and Nathan will be grateful to you, but you'll lose all of your willpower. You have no more. Take the lid off. Yeah, my chat haven't seen any of this. I've played the demo. I completed the demo myself. So I know what's coming, but my chat don't know. And I'm letting them choose. This is my chat choosing the story. Call Daddy. Why was it Call Daddy? We need a daddy emote. That's what we need. Tank it. Call Daddy. That's the option. That's exactly how it's worded in the game. I didn't. I got banana milkshake. I told you guys might want to think about your relationships with your family members. I said you might want to think about it. None of you thought about it. Don't swap the box. It's very thick, though. Very thick. The Galaxy McFlurries was so much better. Right, redirect anger. Mother keeps shaking Nathan violently, and you cannot stay away any longer. He is no longer bawling, he is shrieking. Just leave me alone. But then out comes your voice so loud it drowns out their cries. No, it's not Nathan's fault, Mother. You're just tired. Please don't do anything to my little brother. If you have to punish somebody, punish me instead. He's too young. He won't understand. Your mother freezes and looks at you. Her eyes two narrow splits. Her stare is cold and full of pure wrath. Space cheeks. Nice. Her stare is cold and full of pure wrath. So pure you cannot help but crawl in fear. Are you trying to teach me how to take care of a child? Are you giving me lessons on calming a newborn baby? You're insolent, insipid, nagging know-it-all. It's time you learned your place. She puts Nathan on the bedsheets, then moves towards you. You step back, but a closed door blocks your way. She slaps you across the face. Your ears ring from the heavy blow and your cheek burn from her wrath. You wince and close your eyes, expecting a second slap, but nothing comes, nothing but Mother's heavy breath and Nathan's shrill cries. Then there's a knock at the door. You step aside. Father walks in. He looks at you, clutching a reddened cheek, at the bawling baby, and Mother, her eyes red with rage and tears, her breath heavy and ragged. Go to your room, son. I'll join you soon. Pop a defensive cooldown and drink a health potion. You do as you're told. Back in your room, you press your aching cheek against the cold window, hurt and dazed by what just happened. Soon enough, Nathan stops crying. You hear Father's heavy footsteps in the hallway. He comes into your room and sits on your bed next to you. Son, please do not be angry with your mother. The twins know she wishes nobody any harm. This is a difficult time for her, but we will make it through it as a family. You stepped up to protect your brother. You acted like a nobleman today. I'm proud of you. Your mother and Nathan are resting now. How bad does it hurt? You shake your head. Not bad, but your hand still aches to clutch the cheek. Father embraces you with a sorrowful smile and gingerly pats you on the head as you press your forehead into his housecoat. Things grow calm now. The trouble has passed and you are quietly happy. There you go. You can all pat Brent now. Daddy patted Brent. We can pat Brent. Pet him right good. We love Daddy. And Daddy obviously loves you too. You acted like a nobleman, Brent. We have a Nathan. He doesn't come in very often, but we have a Nathan that comes into chat as well. This is really chat's story. You wake up to Father's touch on your shoulder. He is finally back home after a long trip. Brent, today is your special day. The day when you begin your studies. Now teachers will come to our home to teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you'll grow closer to the nobleman's lot. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I am taking him to the market district. Stephen wants to come with you too, but Father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets, a pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Anazot. I don't know how that's meant to be said, that's how I'm saying it. That you already know. It's one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There is a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches all above the city. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our gods' own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned, not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a halt by a small shop next to the city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen your present yet? Father asks. You have. You want the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming our city. That's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well, war isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You run to the box of toy soldiers, delirious with excitement, but there is a fancy-dressed boy in your way. He is about to take your worries for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you, and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. The rich boy screams so loudly, everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me, he hit me. A tall tower of a man looms over you. This is the boy's father, but you feel your own father's hand on your shoulders. What happened? You press against Father, your mind more at ease now. He will protect you. Yes, you shoved the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is this true, Brent? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? So, you can deny your guilt. You can quietly say that it was an accident and get some more willpower. You can tell him the truth and get some more determination. Or you can admit your guilt. Your dad will be grateful. You'll lose all your willpower. But you'll admit your guilt. Pull it. Get that pull going. Noble kid is a prick. You're going to make me want to get a McDonald's. Get one. They're amazing. They call it Mackey's. Because you were here when I was arguing with you all about how to pronounce McDonald's. It isn't fair to blame you without letting you speak to you. You didn't want to shove that stupid boy. He was the one who shoved you first. But the angry nobleman, the boy's father, will not let you finish. Nobody cares a whit for your so-called truth, little lowborn. The law is the law, and your punishment is due. Your father nods in agreement to those words, no matter how sad they may make him. They lead you and the nobleman's son out of the shop. You are told to bow to him and show humility. A bad feeling sends a shiver down your spine. With a satisfied grin on his face, the boy swings his arm and slaps you on the cheek. He strikes you again and again. Enough. He got what he deserves. We're leaving. Get out of our way. Your head is swimming from the heavy blows. You return to your senses back in your bed with servants treating your face. Father stays by your side all day. The morning after, you find a little box in your bed with the tin soldiers, the holy orders inside. You paid dearly for your stubbornness. All the nobles. Brent's not having a good time. I've proved my point well enough. You Americans say things weird. Brent will become Batman. Don't you mean Brent Man? No, there's no but like. You Americans can't just make up how words sound. I did, Solid. I did. I found out what Mac is. I actually did the research into where it came from. I posted it all in Discord. Everything. Because it's not an English word. It's Scottish. What is part of this really... Why is it really warm in half of the drink? Like, some of it's really hot and some of it's cold. Is that the film? I'm not the one that tries to control it. Every time I says McDonald's, I just have a bunch of people tell me I'm saying it wrong. Because half of the people that watch me are American or Canadian. I'm not getting into it. I'm not getting into it. You can say whatever the fuck you want. You're not going to change my mind that it's Mac. Yeah, I've watched it. I've seen the film. It's pretty good. I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, we're talking about McDonald's. We're not talking about mac and cheese or the internet. Because I got McDonald's. I'm not saying that, Brent. I'm not saying it. Today, Father ordered the dinner table to be brought out into the yard. For the first time in months, he's home. Outside of the confines of his always locked study, we spent the entire day playing with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stephen, now in adolescence, and walking in the garden, and now a dinner under the open sky. The entire family gathers together, with Father at the head of the table, smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knee and recites a counting rhyme in a funny sing-song voice. Roxanne, give me fries. My God. You said it. Agreed, G-Man, agreed. Stephen mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He rises from the table together with Father to show his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands in her chair and recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Mother showers your sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding a smile on his mustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks in the Legion, from common soldier to high commander. Stephen listens to you with a skeptical look on his face. Ugh. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure that the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel cold in the dusk tonight. It feels good yet so important. All of you are finally together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. Then a servant approaches Father with a letter in his hand. He reads it in a dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off Father's face until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at Father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Brante is coming back to Anazot. He is the head of our family, my father. Granddad's coming. We made one more choice, yeah. I mean, that's fair enough, Solid. I just would never go for a Burger King. I find the burgers too... I know people say about McDonald's, but I find Burger King's burgers very greasy. I don't like them. They're very tasteless. I'm eating chips, sorry. KFC in the UK is amazing. I don't know where. It isn't apparently very nice in America. Ever since the news of Grandfather's impending arrival, there has not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after school and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They tell Gloria she will be flogged if she is ever seen hiding in the attic. They make Stephen stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Everyone is on edge. Then one day Grandfather arrives. It is a grim day, so hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Father, Mother, Stephen, Gloria, you and Nathan, the entire Brante family stands on the porch in front of the house. The house servants lined up behind you. The carriage arrives and out steps a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, Father. Children greet your grandfather as you have been taught. Still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Brante family to be ennobled by the mantle, and I am the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. I live honourably by my lot. Your marriage to that low-born wench cut us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny can never be born bearing noble blood. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather eyes him with scorn and walks into the house, the entire family following close behind him. I've been away far too long. This entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How can you live in such a pigsty, Robert? The servants have grown far too lazy, all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children, what do they know of tradition or honour? They are being raised in a virtuous family, Father, and now you're speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility. Twins willing, now that I am here, this will not happen again. I'm taking your oldest son to the capital. I see you cannot provide Stephen with a proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stephen for the journey. Stephen freezes in place, glancing at Grandfather and Father again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with contempt. The house is examined room after room. Everything Grandfather sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at the crease on a blanket in Nathan's crib and Mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door to your room is next. What is this, Robert? Tin soldiers in your younger son's room. He was born a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming of battle. Grandfather seizes the box containing the tin warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays silent. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present from the first day of your studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? What if you need to prove your right to command the toy soldiers first? Grandfather shakes his head in disapproval and shoves the toy box into the roaring fireplace. If you wait too long, they will melt into flames. You can't do the top two. You don't have enough perception or determination. So you can even cry, and your grandfather will hate you and you'll have no willpower. Or you can hate your grandfather, and you will die. You will die. But you'll get some determination and some perception from it. So you're either going to cry or you're going to die. Cry or die, guys. You're gonna die. To quote Jeff Eldrabu's Pog Fabra. Brent, I'm afraid to tell you, you have 3 more chances at life after this. Or 2 more. Either way, you're not gonna completely die. I see, so the path you guys are choosing is not to even be alive by the time you become an adult. I see. A bold choice you have. Here we go. We're dead. Overwhelmed by helpless rage, you run to grandfather and kick him in the leg with all the strength you can muster. Yet he is immovable. The next thing you see is him leaning, towering over you menacingly, his heavy walking stick in hand. Low-born scum, how dare you raise a hand to me? The blow hits home. The handle of the walking stick is as heavy as a rock. You are dazed, robbed of both hearing and sight. Down comes another blow. A sharp pain splits your head, then darkness. Your hand twitches against your will, then again and again, like it is trying to catch a flying butterfly, and then you fall into the primordial void. The void takes away part of you, one of the lives you were given to live. It will never return. There is pain and desperation and a sense of loss. Nothing can be done now. You fall into pain that embraces you like a soft feather bed. You feel light, free. There are no restraints, just a warm glow that envelopes you in its secure embrace. The waves carry you. Their touch is soft. They delicately enshroud what was once your body. It is a feeling unlike anything you have ever experienced before. Something absolute and complete. You touch something greater, the reason behind everything, the reason for your very existence. You were sculpted from its light. It was the first thing you ever felt. A boundless into the sea. I'm gonna die now. I'm not sure milkshake's gonna help. Your beginning was a spark that cast this light in all directions, and now you are here again, one with the beginning of everything. The light gleaming from you resembles the light of the shining pillar. You still see it in the north as always. The waves of light carry you to two figures. The elder is nearest. He is ready to accept you. He is quiet, wise, kind, and pure. The younger waits further back. You do not know what he is yet. The waves pause at the elder's feet. He leans over you and plants a feather-like kiss on your forehead. The kiss spreads all over you. You are filled with unparalleled delight and bliss. You exist. You are unique. There is no one else like you. They know this and they love you. You will never be alone. You are part of them, a part of your family, a part of this universe. The twin gods will never leave you. They watch over you constantly. The elder softly touches you as you lie spread out amongst the waves, sending you further down the torrent of light. You float on to the top of the silver tree's spreading crown. The closer you get to the silver tree, the heavier you become. The waves draw you down along its trunk, but you do not wish to part with the warmth and softness with the love. You turn around. The elder is still watching you. He nods. All is as it should be. Go. Your time has not yet come. You must return to the world now. As you tumble down towards your body, you comprehend the true meaning of your lesser death and the divine love that has been revealed to you. Love exists not only in the hereafter, it is present in the entire design of the twins that is the origin of all life in this world. What is the manifestation of this love in your mortal life? So you can pick Empire. By creating the Empire, the twin gods cared for all living creatures. The Empire is the only thing that gives us a place in the world and a connection to others. It is an enormous family made for people by the gods. Lot, the gods give you a clear mission in this world, thus gifting you your very being. This is the manifestation of their love for you and for all living things. Family. Love always lives in kindred blood. You share the miracle of life and the universe with your kin. Your family is what you were given upon being born and what you leave behind when you depart. Calls. The love the gods have for you is so great that they allow you to change the world they have created, to influence it with your deeds. Whatever your mission is, it is proof of the twin gods' love for you. Yourself. What could be a stronger manifestation of love than your very existence? Your every emotion, every thought, every action exists by virtue of the love from which the twin gods created you. or you can remain silent. You do not find the answers you seek. I don't know, fictional. We literally chose death, and I couldn't be more proud. Is it 5 for poll? If so, just leave remain silent out, because I'm going to force you guys to choose. You're going to have to choose something. And I'm going to eat some more chips. Yeah, Solid's right. It's about time you could go and do your stuff. Go do your stuff, Spunky. You can do it. It's close, though. Everyone seems to have a different opinion on it. No, if you've said, scrolling through comments, the birthday one is because we named the character in the game Brent, and it was the character's birthday in the game. We named the character after Brent. You should have chosen South. You know what? I can't even remember. I think I might have chosen family. Or maybe I chose something else. It might have been Qualls, actually. Alright, let me just finish my chips. Galactic Rodent Empire. Just gonna take over the world. I'm pretty sure I just dropped a chip. Family got me killed. Well, I didn't die to my family. Alright? I didn't die here in my playthrough. Night, Joe. The one time I got killed and had to do this, I got killed by a wagon. Which you guys will probably also be killed by. A sudden comprehension of the love with which the entire world is imbued illuminates your mind, but then it fades away and vanishes. You regain a sensation of your flesh. It is heavy and unwieldy. It lacks the lightness that light. It is a burden. It is smothering you. You voted to cry. We are all family. And we all wanted to see Brent die at least once. Apparently. You gasp for air, your chest expands painfully. You feel as though your lungs are about to burst. The stagnant odour of the crypts fills them, revolting but so real. You are back. Then you smell a sickly moist smell. You feel dampness all around you. You come back to your senses in the gloom of the family crypt, lying flat on the stone slab. Your parents are on their way to the crypt right now. You hear the muffled voices. They are arguing. Against all rules, Mother will not agree with Father. Why would Gregor do this? He just took one of our child's lives. Lydia, my father is our family's head, and the boy raised a hand to him. There was nothing we could do, and Father did admit that he was too hard on him. Please do not anger Sir Gregor. You need to accept this. It will never happen to any of our children ever again. The voices grow quiet as they lean over you. You lean on your elbows to try and get up from the stone. Mother gingerly wraps a cloak over your naked body as you shiver from the cold. This is just like my real life. Brent is a zombie confirmed. This isn't our world! Fictional. It's not our world. They don't have zombies, they just have 4 lives. My son, your first death came far too soon. I know it may be difficult to realise what happened, but know this, the twin gods are ever merciful. You are a child, and your time to leave for that hereafter has not yet come. You will be returned here by the gods twice more, but do not tempt fate again, and never ever defy those who can easily take your life. Brent, you have angered your grandfather greatly. Do not stand in Sir Gregor's way ever again, and he will never hurt you again. For now, just stay away from him. Father stays a step away from you, not saying a word. When Mother finishes talking, he picks you up and carries you outside. Together your parents take you from the family crypt. On your way out of the crypt, you take a moment to touch your head. It's perfectly fine, there's no sign of the blow. Back home, Grandfather is still walking through the house, examining the rooms. You can see that Stephen and Gloria are disturbed by what just happened. Nathan starts crying when he sees you. The playroom still reeks of burnt paint. There's something new about you now, a pitch black stripe on your left arm. It looks a little it looks like a strange bit of dirt at first, but it will not wash off. It will be like that forever, Mother explains. That is all she will say of it. Yeah, we have 4 lives. So you can die 3 times. The 4th time is your true death. Sean, we are a child. Yeah, how old are we now? We're 6. Yeah, guys, we're 6. I think it's meant to be like you died and then you're like properly reborn, so you wouldn't be wearing clothes. I think that's the point. But yeah, you died once. Wait. No, some people do just die the once. It's not really explained yet. But that might be also because I haven't really gone down a route that like talks about Stephen's mum. But you see it later on in a story that I won't tell you about. So that it's a surprise to you. But sometimes you can die just once. But I do remember, because I'm 100% sure you're not going to have this conversation with your dad. Because I'm 100% sure you're not going to have this pathway open to you because of what you've done so far. But I do remember there was a conversation that I had with my dad at some point where he says that they thought that Stephen's mum was going to come back to life, and they were surprised that she didn't. And I'm guessing, like, if you've got a black mark on your arm, you know, she's not going to be able to hide that from her husband forever. So he would have known if she was died 3 times. Wait, Nathan, is that your new name, Nathan? Is that you, Nathan? Because then we officially have Brent and Nathan in the chat. We can have sex, Bugger. Wear a sweater. You hate it. You did it wrong. Feels bad. We got Nathan in the game, Nathan. He's a baby, though. Who we got first, Death? You got enough determination that you got this event, Father's Sword. I didn't actually get this one. I don't think. Brent's little brother. When Father's not working long hours, you often see him spending long stretches of time in the backyard practicing his fencing. You are allowed to watch, but that is it. You are forbidden from touching the sword, let alone actually learning how to fight with it. It's a new day today, and Father has been busy in his studies since early morning. Mother took Gloria and Nathan to the shops. Your studies are done for today. The house is empty. You spot Father's sword hanging by the yard door. He must have left it there by accident after a training session. You deliberate at first, then grab the sword with resolve and run outside. At last you have a chance to see it up close. It is a small sword used for dueling, heavy and devoid of any ornamentation. You recall that it was made specifically for him. The weapon is difficult to handle. Its heft makes the palm of your hand shake. As you get used to it, you try your best to imitate Father's feints. Your technique leaves much to be desired, but at least it's something. You imagine yourself fighting for the family's honor as the thin blade slices through the air. But you swing too far back. The blade nicks your shoulder and cuts through your shirt, staining the fabric crimson. The sword falls to the ground with a dull clang. You try to apply pressure to the wound to make it stop bleeding, but all you do is make the blood flow faster. Brent, what are you doing here? The familiar voice hurts you more than the cut of the sword. Father walks up to you briskly. His rugged arms rip off the length of cloth and bandage your shoulder. He squats by your side and pulls you into an awkward embrace. My son, why did you have to take the sword? You know you're not supposed to hold it. This is no toy. It is a weapon that can take lives. I know how you feel. I used to yearn for my father's dueling sword when I was a lad. One day you might have a chance to earn the right to carry a weapon. But first you must have patience and study and become a noble. When that day comes, I will be proud to teach you myself. You rarely spend time with Father without someone else around. There is paternal love in his voice, so much that even the cut on your shoulder barely hurts now. You'll be glad to be convinced by what he says, but how can you forget your dream? How can you abandon it just to earn Father's approval? Is it right for him to ask so much of you? Do you either agree, and your relationship with your dad goes up and you get some willpower, you promise never to touch your sword again, or you muster all your courage and beg Father to teach you. You get a fencing lesson, and you'll get determination, but you will have minus willpower. And just take it from that. I don't know, just look at that. Do you really want to go into anything else with a negative willpower? Learn to fight. Shazzy wants to kill. Beg Daddy. begged Daddy, damn. But Daddy, let me play with your sword some more. Why not? By the way, guys, there's a Scooby down here. Come on, up here. Here. Come here. Move. Get around the shoe. Move around the shoe, Scooby-Doo. There, come on. Up. Scooby. Here. Come here. Oh, there we go. You're on camera now. Around the shoe, Scooby-Doo. Yeah, there's food over there. You're getting even more grey. You're gonna be a proper old man. You're gonna be a proper old man. Yes, you are. You're going all white around your eyes. You is, yeah. You're a proper old man. Yes, you are. Phil's old man. Go on, get lost. Good boy. Right, we're agreeing. You take a deep breath, then slowly and solemnly swear that you will never touch the sword again until you earn a nobleman's title. This promise is a difficult one for you to make. No more secret fights with an imaginary blade. No more battles with sticks. If you give your word, you must keep it. Father smiles at you warmly. It is one thing to make a promise and another thing to keep it. But I know you can do it, my son. You are on your way to becoming a man of your word. Let's go back inside now. He picks up the sword and leads you back into the house. You wash the blood from the cut and agree to keep this a secret from everybody. Then Father asks you to come into his study with him. He tells you stories of his studies in the capital. He tells you about studying from the judgeship and trials he had to face to not be ennobled by the mantle. Father brings several toy soldiers from the house. He uses them to reenact a famous battle with the Green River. The floor of the study becomes a battlefield, and the books from his table turn into riverside hills. You try your best to remember his every word. So you've got a good relationship with your dad, and now you've got some spare willpower. Dad will look after you, Brent. Daddy's got you. Soon Grandfather leaves. Your elder brother Stephen goes with him. From that day on, Father's hard teacher tends to you alone. He bore you with the monotonous lectures on writing, counting, and the way of life in the blessed Arcanan Empire. You often distract yourself from the instruction by playing with your younger brother Nathan. Your home goes quiet without your elder brother, too quiet. Weeks later, your family receives a letter from Stephen. Grandfather has sent him to a boarding school for nobles, and he is now studying hard in preparation for his service as a nobleman. The rules here are way too strict. You can't even sneeze without the teacher's permission. But I've been studying with my peers. We're learning how to live as nobles in a noble society. We're also learning the art of swordplay. That's my favourite part. With Stephen now at the boarding school, Grandfather arrives once more, this time to live in your home. The only good thing is that he often has urgent business in Eterna, the capital of the Empire, and has to travel there. One day you ask your mother where he lived before. In Eterna, she says, but now his place is here. Each time Grandfather returns, he gives the servants new orders. Your home is now always busy with repairs. The servants are redecorating Grandfather's chambers, including his library and sitting room. Sometimes Father tries to gently talk him out of this. Why subject the house to constant reconstruction? Grandfather's answer is always the same. This home is mine, and I will live here as befits a man of the nobility. Daddy. Not very nice. Try not to die again before you even hit your teen years. I think the next chapter starts at 8. Try not to die before you turn 8. Daddy's daddy sucks. The daddy of my daddy sucks. Some days grandfather stays home, and on those days you try your best to stay out of his sight. But there is no way you can avoid family breakfast. The food is there, but you cannot bring yourself to eat it. Mother's eyes are red and swollen. She's been crying all night again. Grandfather sits at the head of the table where nobody used to sit before. Robert, it's high time your youngest sons underwent their sacraments. Sir Brante, please, let them live free of the lot for a while longer. They are but... Shut your mouth. Robert, that wife of yours is impertinent enough to interrupt me. If this ever happens again, she'll be eating her gruel with the servants in the kitchen where she belongs. It's time you considered a real marriage, Robert, one to a woman of the proper station. Gloria drops her fork. Grandfather shoots her a scathing look. A tear rolls down Mother's cheek. Father does not look away from his plate, his hands clenched into fists. Baroness Lodor is one such woman. She is a comely widow and a fine match. She is suing for her inheritance right now and could use proper support in a husband. You can keep your low-born Lydia around if you like. Servant, mistress, I don't care. I will not do that, Father. I'm the head of this family, and the family standing took a severe blow after you married that commoner. It is unthinkable. How could you give up the memory of beautiful Amalia Elborn for this lowly woman and that bastard child of hers? But now you have a chance to set things right. Don't disappoint me. Father nods curtly, trying not to look in Mother's direction. Father, I wish to see Stephen. If I find your conduct in the Baroness's presence satisfactory enough, then you may see him. She is coming for a visit tomorrow. Be prepared. Grandfather wipes his mouth with his napkin, throws it onto his plate, and leaves. Mother's lips move silently. Nobody says a word. Then Father stands up and orders you and the other children back to your rooms. He needs to speak to Mother in private. Hey, Paige! Father comes to your room before bedtime. He sits on the edge of the bed and adjusts a crease on the woolen blanket. He distances himself from you after Stephen's departure, so you are not used to such attention from him. In the candlelight, you can see his face in the dark. There is a sour expression on it. My son, Baroness Emma L. Lodar, will be visiting us tomorrow. Please be polite and treat her with respect. Nathan will do as you do. I want this dinner to be immaculate as possible. Don't let me down. And the next day, Mother starts dressing you and Nathan for the coming dinner. You see red all around her eyes. She has been crying, and for a long time. It hurts just to look at her. Nathan starts whining quietly. You and Nathan are dressed in new doublets, your tousled hair brushed into shape. Gloria is told to stay in her room. Father appears wearing his best suit. Mother is in a humble brown dress, looking pale. Grandfather has an uncharacteristically contented look about him. You hear the sound of wheels and hoofs against the cobbles in the yard, and a pair of dainty heels come clacking. The antechamber is completely quiet and still, fearing Grandfather's observant eye. The door opens. You see your guest, a beautiful dark-haired woman in a dress of elegant deep blue. Father takes the hand of Lady Eldor and kisses it, showering her in compliments. Grandfather's face is beaming in her presence. No one even bothers to introduce Mother. Baroness, allow me to introduce you. Robert's sons, Brent and Nathan Brante. Frankly, it's his elder Stephen who deserves the most attention, but currently he is studying in Eterna with other young noblemen like himself. It is my hope that his younger sons will also make me proud one day. Grandfather eyes you with a probing look. How will you act in front of the Baroness? Will you accept her here next to your mother, your father's rightful wife? So, you cannot force them to introduce them to your mum. You can't do that. But you can greet her politely. Your family reputation will go up. You're obviously not going to be happy in your family about it. Your mum's going to be upset, but your dad and your granddad are both going to be happy. You can walk away with your mum. It'll put your reputation of your family down. You'll get one perception. Your dad won't be happy, neither will your granddad, but your mum will be. Or you can be composed, and you'll lose some willpower. Oh, nice, Paige, nice. I hope your job is going well. What is the time currently? Oh, that's a good page. Oh, I've got something attached to my bloody phone. Boo doo boo boo boo. There's no death option. You know they're all bored, but there's no death option. Yeah, I can't see one on OBS, but I can see one here. I'll vote. What were the options? Be polite. Oh, no, it won't let me vote in it. No, I can see that one. We got it. We got it in the end. I think everyone wants to be polite, which might actually be the best option. But what? That's what I want. It's not gonna get you killed again, no. Bless me, sorry. You follow father's example and kiss the Baroness's fingers gently. Her laughter fills the antechamber, ringing like chimes. You gallantly offer to lead her to the sitting room. Lady Elolda graciously agrees. Behind your back you can hear mother sobbing. Grandfather and Baroness Elolda engage a small talk over dinner. She tells him of the woes of litigation over her late husband's inheritance, and he advises her like the judge he is. Father is mostly silent, only getting in a word or two. You do your absolute best to behave yourself. After the decorous farewells to Lady Ellador, Father quietly thanks you for your model behaviour. The morning after, he leaves for Eterna with Grandfather to visit Stephen. Mother spends almost an entire day in her bedroom. You cannot bring yourself to speak to her. Father returns from the capital in a quiet rage. You overhear your parents talking. Apparently Grandfather has already poisoned Stephen's mind against him, and he greeted Father with cold hostility. The name of Baroness Elorda is never mentioned again in the house. Your dad is affectionate to us. Daddy likes us, guys. Thank you, Brent. We're nearly out of childhood. With one singular death. Pet Daddy. Father now checks on your studies often and nitpicks you for sitting or eating or speaking in an incorrect fashion. Once he becomes so annoyed, he says that he wishes Stephen had been the one to stay home instead of you. You never expected to hear these words from your father of all people. Grandfather's trip to the capital took longer than expected. It feels lighter around the house without his presence. You allow yourself a little change of scenery. Instead of your room, you now busy yourself with reading and calculations in the sitting room across from the open door to the yard. Gloria has joined you today. She has already helped you progress through several complex passages in the book. Right now, she seems preoccupied with a strange tube. Aren't you hurt by the way Grandfather treats you, you ask? Gloria shrugs. Grandfather always says they should get rid of me. I'm used to it now. He hurts you a lot worse because you're closer to him. I just have to stay out of his way, that's it. She shows you the strange tube she has been holding all day. Look, it's a kaleidoscope. I got it as a gift. Want to see inside? Excited by the idea, you close the book and peer into the tiny hole on one end of the tube. Your eye sees a multitude of intricate patterns. Each turn of the tube reveals a new web of interwoven colours. They mesmerize you. The kaleidoscope turns the fire burning in the fireplace into a cavalry made of flames. You are riding at the front of the fiery horseman, ready to face the enemy. Grandfather's face emerges from the intersecting lines, and you swing the kaleidoscope like a sword, cutting it in half. Now you look at the blue sky through the window. The patterns are unending, secretive and calm and peaceful, just like Father's smile before Grandfather's invasion. The deep blue gives way to a scattering of gold, radiating gentle warmth like Mother's arms. This fleeting beauty too soon gives way to a hypnotic new pattern. Again and again you see your family in those interconnecting figures as they come together and break apart, and in the middle of this golden glow you see Gloria's green eyes gazing at you observantly. Your sister left you long ago. The books were abandoned and the time slips away unchecked, but you are still busy peering into the kaleidoscope. Order emerges from the chaos before your eyes again and again, but you cannot preserve it no matter how you try. You are caught in an inner conflict. There is so much that can be done with this kaleidoscope. Should you take it apart, or ask Gloria how it works, or keep enjoying the patterns it shows you, but you still have lessons to do today. So you can either take it apart and get some perception, but lose your willpower, keep looking and get a lot of willpower, or return to your studies and get some determination, but lose willpower. Is this what they did for entertainment before Donkey Kong? Hey, I liked kaleidoscopes when I was a kid and I had Donkey Kong. Kaleidoscopes are fun, Brent. You had some too. Kaleidoscope. Someone wants to take it apart. I'm surprised that doesn't give you minus points with Gloria, seeing you're taking apart her toy. I love this music as well, by the way. The music is amazing. Can we advance like 900 years so Sir Brante has a computer? But you're a commoner, Brent. I don't think Sir Brent Brante is gonna be getting a computer anytime soon, even if you're 900 years in the future. Like, we're gonna study like good boys. Because we're Brent, and Brent is definitely a boy. Yeah. You put the kaleidoscope away and return to studying the books. There is so much you have to discuss with Gloria, you cannot help but wonder, what things did you see there? But first, your lessons. When Father walks in, he sees you hard at work over the book. He chuckles in approval, then spots the kaleidoscope on the table next to you. He puts the toy to his eye, then freezes still for a moment. It takes him an effort to put it back down. Then he praises you for being diligent and leaves. The hell language am I learning in that book? I don't know, what... Just a language, obviously. When today's section of the book is finished, take the toy upstairs to your sister's room and tell her what you saw in it. Gloria smiles, knowing what you felt. I once saw a ballroom full of dancers. I watched it for an entire hour. My hands even got sore. You spend a long time with your sister discussing the kaleidoscopic figures, and you feel a strong connection to her. The toys brought you closer together, made you interconnected, just like the lines and figures in its colourful eye. Nice. We did it, guys. Grandfather's visits are no longer a cause for fear and panic in the house. He's become something you are used to, something nagging, yet not unordinary. Like a splinter or a stain on your trousers. The tension still remains, however. Sir Gregor's disdain for everyone in the house is so palpable, it almost stings for real. Your lessons with the tutor are done for today. You are walking down the stairs when you spot Gloria peeping into the sitting room through a slightly open door. You sneak up to your sister and tap her lightly on the shoulder. She is startled. Oh, it's you, Brent. Look, Sir Gregor's eating something. Grandfather is sitting on a sofa, flipping through a book with one hand and reaching for a glass bowl with another now and then. Inside the bowl you see a candied fruit, a sweet confectionery forbidden to the common estate, like all sweet things. Your grandfather's face shows no pleasure as he keeps consuming the high-born treats. The clock strikes 3. Grandfather rises from his seat, puts away the bowl on a shelf, and leaves for the yard. He always takes a walk in the city this time. Gloria nudges you with her elbow and looks at the candy bowl when you look at her. The first emotion you feel is fear, but next comes curiosity, and it is stronger. Stephen used to boast that candied fruit tastes incredible, and now you have a perfect opportunity to try it. You try a candied fruit first. The sugar starts to melt as soon as you put it on your tongue. It is so sweet. You have never eaten anything as good as this. You take the whole bowl off the shelf and give it to your sister. She takes the fruit and brings it to her mouth, carefully like a rare treasure. There is a thumping on the stairs, footsteps accompanied by the knocking of a walking stick. You have no idea why, but Grandfather is back. You quickly hide behind a sofa and pull Gloria after you, but she is frozen in place with the bowl in her hands. The door opens. Grandfather's menacing figure advances on Gloria. His hand seizes her arm. You squalid, ungrateful, low-born child. How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? You and your trump of a mother would be sleeping in a ditch if it weren't for my spineless son. The sweet and pleasant things in life are for the noble estate, not for the likes of you. Did you forget your lot? Its hand swings and hits Gloria on the cheek. She falls to the floor right next to where you were hidden. Her fingers glisten with the warm melted sugar that brought you here. Grandfather advances again, his walking stick ready, but then he sees you huddled behind a chair. Please don't hurt him, Sir Brante. This is all my fault. He tried to stop me. You can already see a bruise on Gloria's cheek. This is only the beginning of her punishment. Gloria was caught red-handed, unlike you. You can still avoid your punishment. What is it, then, milksop? Did you try the sugar too, or were you trying to stop this piece of filth like she says? So you can tell the truth, and your grandfather will like you more, but you'll lose willpower, but you'll get some perception. You can lie, and Gloria won't like you as much, but you'll get some willpower. Or you can mock your grandfather, get some determination, and Gloria will like you, but your grandfather will hate you a little bit more. We're gonna die. Mock that bitch. Hey, and this time, you don't get killed. He promised not to kill you again. Isn't that great? I don't think I need to read the poem. Mock daddy daddy. This is the game of the daddies, apparently. Tell him that sweets are for kids, not for old men. Two people want to tell the truth. I'm surprised by that. Brent, how is your new life treating you so far? Are you enjoying it? Is this going well? No. You sure? You sure it's not going alright? You sure you're not enjoying it? He's died already. Here we go. You jump up and try to shield Gloria, then you start boasting right in his face. Yes, you did eat the sugary treat, and it was very much the opposite of sweet. Good thing Gloria did not have time to eat hers, or it would have disappointed her too. Gloria catches on in a moment. Yeah, sugary treats are for fat, noble kids, but they're gross to us. We're just commoners. You continue her train of thought. Why, we simply got curious after Stephen started boasting about it. He told us these treats are so good you could eat them forever. But no, your elder brother lied. They're simply unbearable. But then again, what else would you expect from grandfather's darling Stephen? Grandfather's face is red with rage. He strikes you both with his walking stick, blow for blow. You dare mock me. I will not let this stand. Know your place, you foul, low-born scum. He keeps hitting you until he grows tired, and then he leaves you where you are, muttering in impotent rage. Soon enough, Mother comes in to find the two of you on the floor, too afraid to move. She shakes her head in disappointment. You are badly hurt and covered in bruises, yet she still forces you to kneel and recite the precepts of the lots and how important it is to follow them. Gloria's face is bruised and swollen, but she still gives you a weak smile. We got him so rolled up, two commoners made an honourable noble fall helpless, makes all the pain worth it. Isn't that right, brother? Your entire body hurts from the heavy blows, but deep inside you're ecstatic. You stood up to grandfather today. It's a victory you will remember for the rest of your life. Wow. Fuck authority. Father and Mother have been focused on Nathan and you since early morning. Instead of breakfast, you are told to say your prayers, wash your hands and faces, and get dressed in plain white shirts. Today is the day of your sacrament. Mother, I want to go play in the yard. No playing today. You and Brent are big boys now. It's time for you both to have your first sacrament. No one can live without a lot. I don't want a lot. Be quiet and listen. You were born commoners, so you must accept a low-born lot before the twins. When you grow up, you'll get a chance to earn a noble lot. Father and Mother take you to the carriage. Nathan is hungry. He starts whining. Grandfather is the last to get in the carriage. His eyes are on you and your brother, looking for every fault. Soon the carriage is moving along the streets of Anazot, slowly and solemnly. One more turn and you see the colossal white building marked by two massive pillars. For the first time in your life, you were to enter the Church of the Twin Gods. You enter the gate and walk under the splendorous dome of the church. The church hall is divided into two halves. They are drastically different from one another. The floor on one side is rough and jagged and covered in dried brown spots, while the floor on the other is made of smooth marble. The commoners kneel on the jagged floor, and the well-dressed nobles and their families sit on pews. Father and grandfather leave you to sit on one of the nobles' pews. Mother walks to the rough stone of the commoner's side and gets down on her knees. You see her wince in pain, for the low-born estate shall suffer in the house of the faith. The church acolytes surround you and lead you to the altar, where you and the other children will take your sacrament this day. Before you stands a tall priest dressed in black, with a sword in one hand and a hefty whip in the other. Nathan's whining grows louder. He dislikes this place. He is scared. You remain quiet, but your stomach roars in uneasy anticipation. The first child to take the sacrament is a jaunty little boy from a family of nobles. The priest extends a sword before him and recites the words of his lot. From this day forth he will fight and rule and pursue the arts. His mind now forever free from the throes of suffering, for he now belongs to the noble lot. The boy proudly touches the flat of the blade with his lips. Nathan is the next to receive the sacrament. He suddenly snaps out of his fearful trance and tries to break free, but the acolyte pulls him towards the altar and throws him on the jagged floor on the lowborn side. The sharp edges bite into Nathan's knees as he lands, spraying drops of red around him. I don't want it, Brent. Brent, why do they want to whip me? What did I do? You try to break free and run to Nathan's side. You want to give him courage and protect him, but the acolyte's grip on you is too firm. You feel utterly helpless. Your little brother has to face the world all by himself. The priest starts reciting the words of the law as he swings a lash over Nathan's shoulders. From this day forth, Nathan, thou shalt endure and work and suffer. Thou shalt be ardent in thy labour and humble in obedience to thy rulers. And now cometh thy first true suffering, which thou must accept with gratitude. The lash cracks. It strikes his right shoulder. It strikes his left shoulder. The blows are so powerful that Nathan falls to the floor. The priest tells him to rise. He has received his lot. Nathan gets on his feet and drags himself towards Mother, his knees torn and bloodied, his spirit broken. It is your turn. Your feet will not move. You can barely muster enough strength to walk to the altar. You get down on your knees and feel the sharp stones below, so sharp your clothes cannot protect you. Your skin begins to burn. The acolyte forces your head down, and you feel the lash being drawn above you, ready to strike. The priest's words are for you now. This is thy sacrament. Thou shalt work and endure and suffer. Thou art about to receive thy first true suffering by the sacred lash. Dost thou accept thy lot? You can either accept it, or you'll lose determination but get perception. You can raise your head and get some more willpower. You can catch it and get some more determination and less perception, or you can kiss the sword and get a nobleman's sacrament. But you get determination. You'll be in the minus with your willpower. Your granddad will like you. And you'll get less perception. What's this lot they keep talking about? Brent's special parking lot. I'd visit. What are we going for? Everyone wants to catch it. You're making it sound like you're gonna get married to the parking lot, Brent. You're not marrying a parking lot. You're just being given one. Till death do you part. Or at least one of your deaths. Depending on whether or not it was your granddad that beat you to death. You see, in my other playthrough, I kissed the sword. Because I thought it'd be defiant, you know, like, and it was, actually. Like, you still get your whip and stuff, but you piss them off. It's your lot in life. The Walmart parking lot. Brent consumes everything. Right, we're catching it. The lash strikes, but your hand flies up and intercepts it before it can reach your shoulder. The leather whip leaves a deep cut in the palm of your hand. Blood starts dripping down your arm, soaking your humble shirt with red. The furious priest yanks the lash out of your hand. The acolytes grab you by the arms again. You will not be given a second chance to interrupt the sacrament. The lash cracks. It hits you on the right shoulder. You grit your teeth. Your back barely hurts at all. The real pain comes from the cut in your hand. The lash strikes again, this time on your left shoulder. You rise and walk away from the altar, swaying. You see things with surprising clarity right now. A timid hand touches yours. It is Nathan, his tearful face a mixture of confusion and awe. Mother takes your hand and leads you out of the church. Once you are outside, she scolds you for being insubordinate. Grandfather is the last to leave the church. His face is covered in red, angry blotches. There is a quiet fury in his voice as he says something to Father, who remains quiet and miserable as you walk to the carriage. You defied a powerful will that day. There is fear inside of you. You fear that this will might one day destroy you. One day destroy you, guys. One day destroy you. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes a long time to heal. Mother says it is a reminder of your lot, suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash on her shoulder one day. It will never disappear. You are a commoner now. This is your lot you were born into. But Father keeps telling you to study hard so you may yet earn a different lot and become a noble of the mantle. As long as I get my parking lot. You recall the past with warm sadness. When Stephen still lived with you, or when he wrote to you for the time shortly after he left. Now he thinks it beneath him to write to the commoners in his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly before Nathan was born. But most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. You learned the true power of the law only after the head of the family's arrival. In grandfather's eyes, no commoner deserved to be treated with kindness. Is this just him, or is this a way of the entire world? The very thought makes you queasy. You are older now, and what's more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care about someone else, how to teach and protect. Soon you are a small boy no longer. As the days pass, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now your choices will decide your place in the bizarre and ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. Hey, Ruth. Hope your day's been as spicy as you. We're just about to finish, actually. We are turning 8. In this world, 8 is pretty much not a child anymore. So these will come back into play at the end of the next chapter, basically. Your willpower counts over, and so do your deaths. You're into your adolescence. You lived in the world for 8 years now. As you grow older, life grows more complex. The world of your childhood is limited to your house and family, but now that realm is expanding. It also includes your neighborhood, the nearby houses, the streets of the ancient city of Anazot. A question now looms over you, growing more pressing with each passing year. What will your place in this vast outside world? Few people in the blessed Arcanan Empire trouble themselves with this question. It's not within a man or woman's power to choose. Their destiny is predetermined by their birth and those who bore them. And yet your peculiar birth has granted you a choice. Your father is a man of nobility, a worthy example in matters of duty and honour. Your mother is a commoner of lowly estate, humility and patience made flesh. And your sky is ablaze day and night with the light of the shining pillar, the beacon of the clergy. Your back bears the mark of the lash. Will you accept the drudgery and suffering that is the lot of the lowborn for your entire life? Or will you follow in the footsteps of your father and your father's father and fight for the right to serve the emperor as a noble of the mantle? Perhaps will you follow the twin god's word and offer spiritual guidance to others? The answer lies out there in the vast terrifying world. What awaits you beyond the walls of your home? Look, I don't know where the people who made this are from. There's a lot of mistakes in some of the writing in this. So they very much could be non-English speaking people. But we're not going to carry on today because I am tired and it's like 11 o'clock. But I'll explain. So going forward, instead of determination and perception, you'll be leveling up nobility, winning. I can't say it. I'm not even going to try. I try it. I'm had too much today. Today has got to me. Or your spirituality. So it basically means you're either going to become a noble, you're going to become a commoner, or you're going to join the church. This is basically choosing your path in life towards what you're going to be when you grow up, basically. And now you've got, like, relations. That's not it. There. We don't know anyone yet. This is, like, the world now. We can look at this all tomorrow. All the shit about everything that's going on in the world. Look at it all. We'll look at it tomorrow, though. Yes, sleep. Where's my lot? Your lot is exactly... Where are we? Your lot is here. This one. Covered in trees. That is your lot. We're working towards it. Don't worry. We'll get there, Brent. We'll get there. The game apparently goes live tomorrow. We still got, obviously, the next chapter to play. Regardless. So we'll do that. I'll be streaming for my normal time tomorrow. So 4 o'clock UK time. If the game is ready to be bought, I will pay for it, and we'll have a couple chapters to do tomorrow. But I can't, like, stream late because I've got work in the morning. That's still a thing. I've still got to work. Had fucking Tom tell me I should just give it up and stream full time. I was like, where the hell do you think I'm gonna get money from? Who's on? Who are we gonna raid? Do any of you have anyone? Never listen to anything Tom says. Amazingly, I still have a job today. That means I did not listen to him. Prax Music? Is that the name, is it? Raid. Right, so head over. Show them some love. I will be back tomorrow. We will do at least chapter 2. Maybe more. After chapter 2, if there is more after chapter 2, then we'll do that. Oh, I follow a lot of people, but I like to ask everyone if they've got someone. Like, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people I could have raided out of my own thing. But I like to ask. I like to spread the love around the community. I follow a lot of people as well, to be honest. But yeah, go show some love. And I'll see you tomorrow. For more nodding. For more nodders. He's from Ontario. Oh shit, he's a Canadian. Quick, stop. No raid for a Canadian. We're not gonna go and raid in a Canadian. Fuck Canada.